Testing, testing. Can you guys hear me now? If you can hear me, just say something in the chat. First time doing a live stream, so. All right, cool. Yeah, well, that sucks because I kind of just spent a couple minutes talking about what I was looking for today, but I can do it again. So the reason I say neutral bias going into the day is just because we're trading right in the middle of two areas where I can see price going to. I'm looking at this 1 minute fair value gap to see how we can react off of it. Let's see if there's SMT. All right, so we do have SMT right here. I just can't really see price going to anywhere super clear. I am going to take this though. Probably do pretty aggressive stop loss on this or break even on this. But super low risk just because this market is looking kind of unpredictable, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. But yeah, if we hit this low, I'm definitely going break even. This is a good setup. It's just the conditions are not good right now, so I could see my stop loss getting hit, and I'd be okay with it just because this is low risk. But I would like to see this low get taken. This is an order block. Good reaction off of that so far. Let's see that get hit. I got a really good fill on this too. Yo, what's good, man? How you doing? All right, so we're trailing stop now. Again, aggressive stop trail just because these conditions are unpredictable right now. But just want to see a fast move lower. Um, so I honestly am expecting my stop loss to get hit. That's just like my mindset going into it right now. Um, but it would be nice if we could just get a quick dump here. But let me talk about the reason why I'm expecting low probability conditions is because overnight we had this huge gap lower, right? And if you watch my last video, really what I like to see is like my bias going into the next day is very likely going to be this gap to get filled if it wasn't filled overnight. And obviously we can see it wasn't filled. But the only reason why I'm suspecting that we might not need to go up here is because one, it's so far away, but two, I like the um, opening range profile we're seeing right now. And so I like to look for a manipulation higher into a PD array during the opening range, which is what we've happened right, what's going on here right now. Is 9:30 open shoots higher into this 15-minute fair value gap. So I was suspecting and was kind of using this as like a condition on if we respect this and I get an entry model, then I will take a short. But I could also see why it would want to run through this to just go up and take this high and fill this new week opening gap. So that's why lower risk was used today. Um, because also we have London lows down here that are stacked. Like these are pretty much relatively equal and smooth. Um, and so we're like trading right in the middle of these two targets where I could see price going either way, right? London low didn't really trade into anything specific here, which would make me think that it's a protected low. It's just out in the middle of nowhere, right? So that's how I can expect like kind of crappy conditions. But the reason I entered this trade was because again, that um, opening range profile into a PD array that I was using as my condition. Really nice structure right here. We got a high, low, higher high. This higher high created SMT. If we take a look at S&P right here, this high and this high, this high and this high, right? That's uncorrelated. Drop below this 1 minute fair value gap, really small, but still meaningful because it was used to send price higher and create that SMT. And then we got a order block right here, a breaker, and an inversion fair value gap. So if you watched my last video, which I just posted last night, those are three really good ways to tell you if there's a change in the state of delivery, which is what I was expecting here. And yeah, that's pretty much the reason going into the trade. So if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. Just gonna let this play out. Looking good so far. But again, normally on a setup like this, I'd probably risk more, but just because of the conditions, lower risk. All right, so no SMT there yet. Just seeing if we have any SMT at these lows. Equal lows on ES. This needs to hold right here. And if not, then I'll get stopped at break even. Looking for buy side. Okay. All right, good reaction off of here. I want to set an alert for when ES takes this low because that tells me that SMT at the lows is in place. And then I could, if that happens and I start to see rejection, I'll probably exit the trade manually. Trail my stop above this high because I like this reaction off of here. It should just dump lower though. I don't want to see this play around here. Yeah, these markets have been wild though. Definitely tough conditions. All right. Yes, took that low. All right, perfect. Nice reaction through there. All right, that's one of those days where it's a nice one and done right before 10 a.m. Macro time sent us lower right here. You can see 950, 951 is what sent us through. Now, if we are going to be bearish, we should just have a steady run lower to London low. But this was the first low made during the day. So we could see like if there is going to be a retracement to buy side, it would pretty much need to happen like pretty aggressively right now. Otherwise, I would see price dumping to London lows. But again, just unpredictable. Like I went into the day really unsure of where price was going to go because anytime we have two obvious buy side targets and we're trading right in the middle of them, it's just super low probability. I've been trading for 4.5 years. 5 years coming up in August, August 1st. Probably just gonna be a short stream today. I'll tape read a little bit longer, but I got what I was looking for. Got my piece of the pie. Didn't even really expect to live stream today, considering that I expected the conditions to be shitty as well. But just figured I'd test it out because this is some things that I want to do more often. And luckily, we got a really nice setup here today. I'm gonna screenshot this for my journal. Show you guys how I journal too. Whoops. So 1 minute entry and a win. And then I'll do my trade review later tonight. Pretty simple stuff. Yeah, I still gotta figure out the whole live stream thing though, because I want to get it to where there's like no delay. Like I'm looking at it right now, and I'm pretty sure there's like a crazy delay. Actually, no, I could be wrong. How does the stream quality seem though, guys? Like, does everything seem good? Voice good, quality good? Yeah, I gotta get a new mic. Mic I have right now is so shitty. All right, so this draw to London low is looking good. Thinking right now, I probably should have went in with micros and just held this, like took off the majority right here and held runners to this level. But again, it was, to me, it was just 50-50 today. All right, so we got 10 a.m. open right here. 10 a.m. open to me is always important because um, open high low close or open low high close. And when I'm framing a trade, that can play a big part into if I take the trade versus if I don't take the trade. So what I mean by that is 10 a.m. opens right here, and if we think about the hourly candle, like I can put on the let's see right here. Okay. So this candle to the right is the hourly candle, and it's showing you printing compared to like the 15-minute right now. So if I go down to the, let's go to the 1 minute right here. If I want to see price move higher, like let's say I was bullish right here, which I'm not, but if I was, and I had a target, like a PD array where I wanted to see price get traded into right around the 10 a.m. open, this trade to go long would be higher probability if we got the 10 a.m. open right here, 10 a.m. open low high close, so open low high close. So what that tells me, or what it does, is it creates like a framework on um, building a better idea for a trade, right? Because if you can get in during the low being created, it's like getting in during the lower wick of an hourly candle. So if you think about like daily candles and how you're trying to get in. If it's a bullish day, you want to get in at the lower part of the candle. It's the like with open, low, high, close. It's the very same thing, but with hourly candles. And I feel like with the majority of people who are trading ICT concepts, they're so focused on like daily bias and stuff like that and knowing where the price is going to go for the entire day. But the majority of people are trading like 1 minute charts. And so you don't need to know daily buys for the entire day, right? You just really need to know session bias or where the next draw on liquidity is. And so, like, really simply for me, my draw on liquidity for today was London lows. Where it goes after London lows, I don't care. And really, I don't know because it could just keep going lower right here, or we could get this all out reversal to fill out this liquidity void. But I don't need to know what that is because my session that I'm trading is 9:30 to 11, 11:30. So I only need to know or have a good idea of where price is going during those hours. So I just need to focus on what the next draw on liquidity is. Super simple. But that open low high close or open high low close also applies to why I look for a manipulation higher during the opening range. Because if you think about, this is the first, if we go to real-time trading hours, right? The reason why these hours are important right here is 9:30 to 10:30, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. 9:30 to 10:30 is the first hourly candle that gets printed during real-time trading hours. So that open high low close applies to why we're looking for a manipulation higher during the opening range. So this is an hourly candle right here. You can see this is the hourly candle for 9:30 to 10:30. It's different because this is real-time trading hours. If we're looking at electronic trading hours, you see this candle is different. This is an hourly candle, but for 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. So what I was able to do right here is get in at the upper portion of this wick right here. See, I got in at 18,646. Yeah, so like right there. By waiting for the manipulation to happen into a PD array right here, which was this 15-minute for me, I'm anticipating that this is a manipulation higher, a part of this upper wick, since my bias is more bearish. And then in the last video, I spoke about market maker buy models and market maker sell models. Well, if I'm anticipating a market maker sell model, what are the three PD arrays that are best for anticipating when we're changing from one model to another, from a sell model or from a buy model right here to a sell model to then go lower towards my draw? Those three best PD arrays are a breaker, which is these three down close candles right here, an order block, these two up close candles right here, and an inversion fair value gap. If you have all three of those together with SMT, with the idea of with market profiles behind you of manipulating higher into a PD array right here during the opening range, this is an A plus setup right here. Now, granted, I went lower risk because of the overall conditions of how we were trading between two, like right in the middle of these two areas where I was expecting price to go, but still, that's why I still took this trade because it was A plus. Aggressive trail below my entry based on this break even. So I went break even at this internal low. Just because I think if price were to be bullish, it would have swept this and just shot higher. So this is interesting actually. It stopped right at that London low. There's probably SMT there. I would assume. No. I would set an alert on ES, but the fact that this didn't get taken and there was no SMT tells me that it could be just a crappy day. So I'm happy that I was able to get in and out before 10 a.m. So if anything, this could be a 10 a.m. open high low close, meaning this right here, this up move on the hourly candle, we would be anticipating that we're creating the wick right here. And so what we would need to do really is whoops, start rejecting from these 5-minute fair value gaps, which I'll note here in a minute. There's a really small one right here, but I think price could go up to this one. If we blow through this one, I would expect these highs to get ran. So this 5-minute fair value gap would like be my last line of defense for bearishness, meaning again, if we close above this, I would expect this to get engineered for a later point in time. Close above, use it as support, and start running all the stops up here. And then potentially all the way up here, like what was my original idea going into the day. So yeah, this is also aligned with OTE levels. So this would be a good place to look for shorts, but I would need like lower time frame confirmation on the 1 minute or so. I'm not trading, I'm done for the day, but I'll tape read for a little bit. Yeah, I did end up getting a really good fill on this. So then we could also get fair value gap SMT right here. So if you take a look at ES, ES has a 5 minute right here, and NQ has this same 5 minute, right? So if we could tap into this on NQ, which it looks like it's more likely to do so than ES, then that would be fair value gap SMT, meaning ES would leave this open. And if we get lower time frame shorts or confirmation on shorts, that'd look good too. But I'll probably let this go just another couple minutes and then end the stream. So it's interesting that we didn't actually touch this 5 minute right here. Left a high right below it. So if we could do something like this, tap this 1 minute, hold this, inverse this right here, this would be like an idea for a quick scalp. But if it doesn't do something like that and we just keep going lower towards London lows and leaving highs above, then I would expect a later run higher. Damn, tech's down today. I wanted to load up on a bunch of Nvidia stock when you were trading down here, and I moved a bunch of money into a brokerage account, and of course they put a 7 day hold on it, so kind of missed my entry right here. But I still think that we're due for another drop. I don't think the low's in. I think there's too much optimism right now, believe it or not, um, of people thinking that the low is in. But if we take a look at what was left, like this just looks way too obvious to me of trendline liquidity. And same with like these are completely equal lows right here. And then it's also like trendline liquidity down here. So I don't think that the low's in. I think that this is all just a fake rally based on that um, like 90-day tariff pause. So I think this is just all manipulation higher. Like there's no real reason where this is backed up. So still opportunities to get some longer term investments in there. Dollar's looking gross. Everything is really. This was a nice move on gold. I don't trade any of these other things. I was just doing some analysis on them. Um, just because NQ got to a point where it was so shitty for a couple days. But yeah, I would want to do some back testing before I actually dive into some other markets. All right, but yeah, I'm probably gonna call it there just because I'm assuming price is gonna die off here and not really do anything meaningful. Caught a nice portion of the move right here to start off the morning, just really quick. How long did that take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes in that trade. So open manipulation into a 15-minute fair value gap. Entry model to go short, targeting the internal low, one and done. Pretty easy stuff. So um, yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. Appreciate you guys watching the stream, and take care.